Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Local Women Magazine podcast with a businesswoman and somebody who I met at the Local Women's Sports Awards and was completely captivated by, and that is businesswoman Therese Hughes. You're very welcome, Therese.
Pleased to be here.
So your business is all about hair, it's about tresses. So tell me about your businesses in Newry and Belfast.
Well, it's a business, I think, it's more a passion. I don't even think of it as a business. It's a strange thing because when you think of business, you think, okay, and I don't know, to a certain degree, we do need to make a living. But if I think of it like that, then it's not coming from my heart.
So how did it start for you?
It started very strangely. I started off, bring me back to when I was about 14 and being from a big family. We all had to get jobs after school. So my job after school was to work in a hairdressing salon, brushing the floor. And very quickly worked out the lady that I was working for at the time was so glamorous, so beautiful and so lovely.
Yeah.
That and such a warm human being that I learned so much from her that I thought, this is something I could do. So I left school as soon as I could get out, which was dead on, believe it or not, 15. Because even though my birthday fell in October, so I was able to get out in the September before the October. So started anyway and coming from a big family, I was cutting everybody's hair at home and there was cry for about a week. I'd say the difference between a good haircut and a bad one's a fortnight.
That's a good
So you usually get over it. Yeah. But anyway, I learned so much. And then from that I went into a local hairdressing salon, which was absolutely fabulous. And they taught me the trade, the proper trade. Yeah. Mm. And then from that, at 19, believe it or not, I had my own business. Now, at 19, when I look back, it was crazy to have your own business. But because I am frugal and we were taught how to save, and I started off with very, very little. And I always remember my mummy saying to me, a pair of scissors and a comb and you're in business. Yeah. And that stuck with me. So I started off in Banbridge because I happened to be working there at the time, and that's where my clientele was based. Yes. And I got a place rented and I bought all the furniture that in the place, all second-hand. Yeah. And I remember even doing deals with that, looking for second-hand chairs and knowing that I was getting a bargain. The man was selling them for £7, but I bargained them down to £5 a chair.
There's a true entrepreneur there. So you obviously had the personality and the determination to succeed.
Determined, yes. I would say it would be faking it till you made it, but I was working at the hairdressing and had 2 hairdressing salons at that time in Banbridge because I went from that. I obviously got bigger, and then I had because I'm from a big family, Mummy would always say, where are you going? Take that child with you. Yeah. She ended up employing my brother and employing my sister who were interested in, because they came with me everywhere anyway. You always looked after your brothers and sisters.
But you also had people you could trust in your business.
Of course.
If it's family, you could trust.
Of course. Yeah. But then I had staff that, and the business just grew. And then I had a beauty salon. It was mad. And I did that right up until I was about maybe 38. At that stage, I was married and I had children. But my heart, I wasn't getting that buzz.
So you were like looking for a passion project?
Looking for a passion. And my very first customer, and I can remember as if it was yesterday, was a lady who came in and she was brokenhearted. She was going through chemotherapy, losing her hair. Yeah. And she'd asked me, she'd got at that stage one from the NHS and she wasn't particularly happy with it. And she asked me, would I go and look for something? It just happened that weekend I was in London and I went and got speaking to a Jewish man who had exported hairpieces and wigs, and I went to him and he was able to give me a start. And I remember in 1 day or 2 days I took a pencil, a pad, and I wrote everything down because I knew I could feel it in my bones.
You could feel your passion coming.
I could feel it in my bones. Yeah. And I still do that to this day. And I've always said when I was younger, but I think it's the way I was brought up, to do the thing because you love it. Yes. Don't do it with the money at the foremost. If you do it that way, it'll all go ski with.
So it's looking after people.
Do your best, even when you're hairdressing. If you're cutting somebody's hair, do it to the best of your ability. Yes. That's the very best that you can do. Now, they may not like it and they might go out and whatever, but you know that was your best. Yeah. And that's the way I approached this. I approached it that I would do my best. So at that time, went and bought 1 or 2 wigs, came home, got the lady sorted out. She was buzzing. Then she told 2 or 3 friends. Word of mouth. Yeah. And then it ended up, the salon I had in Banbridge at the time, I had an upstairs to it. And I was spending most of my time seeing patients in this wee small room. And my sister, who was working for me at the time, said, she said to me, you're a different person when you come downstairs to deal with a customer who was going out for the night, as opposed to somebody who really needed me.
Because you were really making a difference to somebody.
You see, honestly.
Not just, obviously chemo patients, but people with alopecia.
Alopecia, burns, people were
going through menopause.
All sorts. Yeah. And to see that wee face light up, there's money can't buy that. There's no amount of the joy you get out of that is unbelievable to such a degree that I could honestly say, for the first 2 to 3 years, I've made hardly any money.
But because you felt you were helping people, you felt really rewarded and fulfilled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Equally, I do believe in the power of whatever you call it, divine or whatever.
A higher power.
A higher power. Yeah. But for me, I think it was just the proper timing. I was in a good position. My husband had his own business, so there was no pressure on me to bring home the bacon.
But you were rewarded with your work. You felt really positive. Yeah.
When I was about nearly 39, I was coming up to the year that Lady Diana died. That year, 1998. And I remember thinking to myself, that was a big pivotal point in my life. Maybe just because of what happened. And I thought, something, life's too short. Exactly. This is something I have to do. And this is something that I have to do with no pressure.
Yeah.
So because I had worked all those years and I had the mind to go and have savings. I'm not one of these people that will throw my money around foolishly. I just don't. That's the way
you grew up as one of 14 children.
Yes, frugal.
So you learned how to manage your finances.
Exactly. Yeah. And I do not throw my money around me foolishly. So whenever I got to this stage in my life, I thought, right, here goes. This is something that I need to do, that I have to have no pressure on myself.
Yes.
So the first place I bought was in Water Street in Uri, which the property was so cheap that I bought the whole business, the whole shop. And I remember going into the shop that day, I'll never forget, even the estate agent said, nobody's ever done this before, and I still do it to this day.
Just walked in with all the money?
Just went in, looked around, I thought, no, this is right. I can feel it. And he said, do you not want to go upstairs? And I said, no. She said, why not? He said, no. I'm happy. I can see enough here in front of me that this is right. Yeah. And I knew I could afford it and buy it outright without small money. So I could own it and have no pressure on me to make rent. Yes. See, that's what I didn't want. I didn't want to have that I had to make money to make this business. This is a passion.
Yeah.
So you can't be always thinking of the money. You have to think of do the job right.
Yeah. And sometimes you think you have to sow the seeds and you will reap the rewards, but you have to be patient as well.
Exactly. So luckily enough, during that time, the NHS came calling, and at that stage I hadn't a clue how to tender for these contracts and stuff. I just did not know what I was doing. So I did put in for it.
Yeah.
And of course, they came along and said, listen, you were so far off the mark, you didn't even know what you were doing. And I told the truth. I haven't a clue. I never
But that was good. You see, sometimes in business, you need to ask for help, I think. And don't be too proud to ask for help.
Exactly. And I, at that stage, always was hoping that nobody would find me out.
A lot of us do. A lot of us are doing that.
She said, hope they don't find out that she's a fraud. But turns out anyway, it worked out very well for me because the NHS said, okay, we're going to give you a start here and we're going to give you an idea of what we want of you. But there's been such a demand because people were looking for me as opposed to going somewhere else where they didn't get that love. Yes. So then I thought, okay, so that was my very first time. And then from that very first contract, which was the Belfast City Trust.
Yes.
I went down to Beaver at the time and luckily enough met with a lovely psychologist who was Robin Davison at the time, and he was incredible. And I explained to him what I felt people need. Yes. So I said, we need a room. I just don't, their hair's falling out because of their illness, and I want to be there at that point so somebody to take their hair off. And
just a companion as well to them, yes.
And talk them through the process instead of just saying, oh, there's a wig and this is how you put it on and this is how you wash it and away you go.
Yeah.
I thought, I tried to put myself in their shoes.
Yes, of course.
And think, how would I like to be treated?
Yeah.
And that's what I try to roll out. Now, sometimes we don't always get it right because we're dealing with different personalities.
Yes.
And we're still learning. Every day is a school day.
Yeah.
Every
but
day
what
is a
you're
school.
dealing with is a very, very personal, private, something that people are afraid to talk about. Maybe I think it's got better now, but I think someone like yourself, Therese, who's sort of been in the public eye and vocal, we need to talk about alopecia, we need to talk about hair loss, we need to talk about how women are affected with hormones and may have to wear hair pieces, and it becoming the norm to ask for help and not make them, shun them in society in any way.
That's it.
I think, I think it's brave of you as well to be that sort of like person that to go to. And I think it's interesting about the name of your company, Tresses. It's Tresses.
Oh, yes. I'll tell you
Tresses.
how that came about.
Yeah.
You see, I myself I've always had what you see me with my hair. It's not my hair.
It absolutely looks incredible.
Well, I struggled all my life with thin hair and very fine hair. And I remember when I was making my Holy Communion, not known as a child, and my parents and mum and my cousin and my aunt up trying to fix my hair and said, there's no point in putting a roller in it. It'll just fall. Her hair's so thin.
Yeah.
I was like, what's wrong? Must be something wrong with me. But I never thought about it because I was too happy and carefree to care.
Yeah.
And then when I took an interest in hairdressing, I knew this was one of my big bugbears. It was my hair. It's so fine.
It could be genetic, just.
Yes,
yeah.
it is. It runs in the family. My mother's very thin hair and some of her aunts have very thin hair. So and there's no amount of backcombing or hairspray would ever make it look like anything. Yeah. So part of me being interested and going that very first time to London to find out about the wigs and the pieces was part of me was searching for myself.
Of course, yeah.
So I got an interest in it, and I really got an interest in it. And when I came home after that first visit, I came home with a topper, which is what I'm wearing now, and I love it. That's like looking for your teeth.
It gives you confidence.
It does. And I spend my day taking it off, showing people, and equally trying to get around the word wig. Nobody likes it.
No, it's not a nice word.
No, it's not like they all get ugh. So we're always trying to say it's wee extension.
Wee extension sounds.
Yeah, it sounds better.
Yeah.
Or I'll say it's what's known as a system. It's a system. There's an enhancer.
Yes.
We're always looking for new words to describe what is essentially more.
Yeah.
Wee bit more. Exactly. So what about it? And then when you think about it, I often thought, sure, you wear makeup and sure, that's a wee bit of poly filler. We need our teeth washed. We get our teeth done. We get our eyelashes, eyebrows, and a bit of high heels to give us height.
Yeah.
So where does it stop? It's just only another wee bit.
It's a little embellishment.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Yes, and whenever I love to see people, there are people I meet, whenever you're out and I look over and think, there's a girl that could be doing with a wee bit. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't dare hurt her feelings.
I know.
But part of me would love to go over and say, there's something you can do for that.
Yes.
Come on, I'll show you.
Well, here, you're doing this today, the podcast.
Yes, exactly.
So if somebody is watching this now and is really wanting to know more about it, how can they contact you, Therese?
Well, first of all, never feel you have to buy anything or have to do anything.
Okay.
I always, when people ring, I'll say, listen, that's the best thing to do. Now, you do need to make an appointment because we're so busy. But to come for the consultation, and sometimes they do send me a photograph to give me an idea of what they look like.
Okay.
And that makes a big difference. And then the best thing to do is to try everything on. And then if you felt that's not for you, don't do it.
Okay. But
I
all
think
it is a consultation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think baby steps.
Yeah.
Because I know for me it was baby steps. And baby steps is enough sometimes just to get you, and then sometimes to go away with the food for thought and let it marinate.
Yes.
Do the way you would.
Okay.
And then when you think about it, you think, it's just the way you would when you're out shopping. You say, that would make a difference. And when they see what can be done, it's wow.
Yeah.
And sometimes too, there are people who've got so used to seeing themselves without her that they actually, when they go to put something on, it panics them a bit. Mm-hmm. So I often think, tell you what we'll do. It's your time. You usually spend £35 for a consultation fee. Yeah. Take time. Take a photograph of yourself with it on. Then go home and look at the photographs and see the difference it makes. Now, there's the back of your hair. Now, look at the front of your hair. Yeah. Now, see what we see.
Okay.
And that's a way to do
It's
it,
a
I
reassurance,
think, too, isn't it?
Definitely a reassurance.
I think so. And then you're under no pressure and you're not being bullied into buying
Oh,
anything
I
or think
know.
you have to do anything. It does. Thank
Yes.
goodness we're at a stage in our lives
Yes.
that the business it is a business at the end of the day, but it's doing so well
Yes.
that if it means giving something back to somebody,
Yes.
that's our something
And the
back.
more people can talk about, listen, look at this. I'm wearing a topper. I'm wearing a hairpiece.
Exactly.
And it's great. It's given me a bit of confidence.
And all the
Perfect.
questions that you would ask, these are all the questions. Is it going to blow off? I was saying to people, just sell the motorbike.
Yeah.
No more bungee jumping for you. Do you know what I mean?
It's sensible.
You
It's
know
like-
what I mean? These
yeah.
are the questions that are always asked. You know, what
I
do we
don't
do?
need ice cream. I've got sensitive teeth.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
all the same things are masked. The questions.
Okay.
So if they're coming along and they say, this is my time, it's 45 minutes consultation, we will write down all the questions beforehand. You know, how am I going to even to go out and express to your friends, what have you done? I've just gone and got a wee bit of extra hair or it's an extension. And once people get used to seeing you, then it becomes you.
It becomes you, of course.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because recently I was at a family wedding and we're all sleeping overnight.
Yeah.
And my sisters, who've got so used to seeing me now with my hair, have forgotten what I look like. So we're all getting into bed, and as I start to take everything off,
Yes.
they said, "Oh, there's more beside the bed than in the bed." And I said, "Don't worry." And then they all got shocked. I said, "I thought you knew." And they said, "Do you forget?"
It's just me.
Exactly.
It's just me.
Exactly.
That's the way we should look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know. So that's basically this reason why I got so much into it. Is just love it. And still, even when I'm tired, which most Saturdays I'm exhausted, I think I can't do another one. I've
But you
lost the
can.
will to live.
Yes.
Then somehow or other, somebody will come through the door and I just get all into it again. I've forgotten that I'm tired.
Because it's your business and you care about it and it's your passion, and that's what's wonderful.
Exactly.
And that's lovely to find out about it today.
Exactly.
It really is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I imagine if I didn't, often thought about this, if I didn't do what I was doing, I would be in somewhere helping somebody to do it. Come on, I'll show you. You know,
You're just a nurturing, compassionate person.
Because I think it's just because of the family dynamics, because it was a big family and we're always looking after the one below us and keeping them right. And the same with sisters going out at night. You're not wearing that. Did you see the stadium? We're used to that.
Therese, it's been so lovely to speak to you today, Therese Hughes. So if anybody wants to get in contact, you are online at Tresses.
Yes.
And thank you for sharing your story with us today. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.